Hello, purchasers of goods and potentially services. Here I am, Sir Chonk, with what the heck's it, Vlogmas thing, where I'm talking about some gifts, 10 gifts you can get the comic book fan in your life, or just the random comic book fan you see on the street if you wanted to give a random person a gift. That'd be odd, but they probably wouldn't mind a free gift. Who wouldn't? So anyway, 10 things, kind of random. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the comic book box, which you can see among all of our Clutterus Maximus. There's a couple of comic book boxes right there. These are the short boxes.
Or slabs, right?
These are the short. Actually, the regular slab boxes. There's about 50 slabs, but they're also short comic boxes, which hold about 150 comics, and then the long boxes, which hold roughly around 300 comics. All very useful depending on what the person you're talking about collects. So if they don't have any slabs, then maybe slab boxes would not be the best choice. You know what I mean? I like long boxes because they hold more stuff and I have less boxes. But the short ones are convenient for like moving stuff around and they're easy to organize for some people. So again, it depends on the person's collection. Smaller collection, smaller box. Yeah, what you gonna do? Another thing about collecting is there are sort of comic book databases. So there's a few different ones of these. I'm not going to shout out anyone in particular.
You can always just list like a couple links in the.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a link in the old Youtube list there. And they vary in price. Most of them aren't too expensive. I'm one that's $8 a month. They basically they're a good digital place to put in all of your comic book information. They update the list of comic books mostly regularly. So you can put in the grade of the comic book, and you can keep track of value. So they have a value. Their value system is not always, depending on the database, it's, not always the most accurate. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. What are you going to do? Values fluctuate a lot. But it's really good for me when I want to be like, okay, I'm trying to fill a run. Which books do I have, say, in this run that I need? It's quick. You can find it. I need these 12 books. Blibbity blop. Easy, right? Or if I'm like, do I have this already? I can check so I don't buy another one. So yeah, I really like the database thing. Very, very useful. So sort of related to, well, I guess not that related to that, but whatever. No, let's just say I came up with a genius segue. Oh, what a great segue that was, Sir Chonk. Thank you. Here's an example of another gift, which is the comic book subscription boxes. These were very, very popular, like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I think like around pandemic era, people were buying all these things like crazy. Right. And so people were like doing 1 million unboxes. This happens to be Boxed Heroes, which this particular one is decent, but they do a lot more like current comic books. So if you're a person or you are buying a lot of stuff off the shelf already, this might not be a great choice. But for someone that's like wants to sort of sample some new things, they haven't bought a lot of new stuff recently, this is a pretty good option. But there's a bunch of these. I'm not saying this is the one to go for.
Comic Tom does one.
Comic Tom does one that's pretty cool. He has a lot of sort of unique covers. Not unique, but shorter print covers in his box. There's a few other ones. Was it Street Level Heroes? They still do something like that?
I think they still have one.
There used to be a bunch. They're not as popular anymore. But I think they make for kind of a fun gift where you're like, hey, I like comics. I like mystery boxes. It's kind of like a miniature combination of those things. So these are really cool. And they're not super expensive. Some of them even let you do a range. Like there are some places that used to, okay, you pick how much you want to spend from like 30 to like 300 or whatever. It will pack you a box based on that. Yeah, pretty cool. I like those things. All right. We also have, of course, one of the keys to comic book collecting is, of course, the comic book bags.
Or board.
Yeah, and also boards. So I don't have a loose board. Here's a board. It's on a book. Ooh, and a bag. So yeah, if you're buying a lot of comics, people are buying a lot of comics, you want to take care of them, the most basic way to take care of them, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much a requirement. You got to bag your books. You got to board your books. If you don't, your stuff's going to get crusty and crinkly and meh.
If you're buying your comics online, they'll probably come back. A lot of places
hopefully
bag them and board them for you. But if you do use your local comic shop, they're not going to generally be bagged unless they're back issues. So, gonna enjoy some bagging time.
Yeah, right. And so bags and boards are great. Another generic sort of thing to do is get a gift certificate. I know I said gift certificate. Now, I suggest, as your lawyer, that you find out where the local comic shops are and try to get gift certificates from the local comic shops, because that's really cool. One, because it's nice to get a relationship, go with the local comic shop, but also good to support local businesses. But if there's none nearby, you could always, get a Midtown gift certificate or some other large comic book thing. I guess you could technically get
My Comic Shop.
My Comic Shop or
eBay.
I should just list things, not just repeat them.
Sorry.
eBay. All right. So yeah, you guys know how gift certificates work. It's a thing. Now here, because all my versions of this are tucked away in a box somewhere, so I'm going to show you a much smaller version. Can you see this? Ooh, it's a top loader. This is a card top loader. Obviously, you wouldn't get your comic to fit in this, but they have comic size top loaders, and I think these things are really cool because they're very sturdy. They stand up well in the comic book form. They're great for display. So if you want to put some comics up on display, the comic book top loaders are not that expensive, and they make the things look really nice. I wish I should have dug one up to show you. I was too lazy, but trust me, they're really cool. Just imagine this larger and with a comic in it. The power of imagination. Yeah. All right. So top loaders, those are cool. And those can combine with wall displays. So people like myself and other people like to sort of, some of their better things, they will like to display. Like this is not a wall display. This is just a little thing of a who's it, but you could display something on it. But I'm talking about more like the wall mounted ones or the shelves where you could put sort of several of their favorite or coolest looking comics where they could display them if they had the place. Those are really nice.
We don't have those because we have walls made of paper.
Yeah, when we try to hang things up on our walls go, we're not going to be a wall anymore. We'll just collapse underneath the weight of this one nail. It's
Enjoy living in New England.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, wall.
Old houses.
So I'd like to display some books, but I don't really have the capacity, so I just stick some on a bookshelf or something. I don't know. I got some cards over there displayed, but that's not important. All right. So yeah. I also you could buy comic adjacent items. So of course, one very popular thing, Funko Pops. Here's the Hulk. Rah. He's a little bit Verde.
And if you get somebody a shelf, that's a great thing to kind of fill in and make the shelf a little more exciting.
Maybe they got a nice Hulk 181 and they want to put a Hulk and a Wolverine next to it in Funko Pop form. That's why you said Hulk and a Wolverine Pops. I'm saying next to it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Or a movie, if you're oh man, I really want to get a movie. And you get them Civil War or something. Or if you really hate them, you could get Captain America, the First Avenger. If you just really hate the person you're getting a gift for, you want to torch them with some crap. But yeah, movies, of course. Funko Pops, shirts. There's all kinds of comic book adjacent things. They're all over the place now. Mega popular. Those are always fun. Trying to find out a character they like and get something like that. All right, let me consult my list here. Oh, yeah. So here's something. You could have, there's grading companies that exist. Here's an example of a graded book, right? This is done by CGC, the most popular graded. And what they do is they take your book, boop-de-bop, they put it in this sort of solid case to protect it.
That's a big one.
Yeah, this is a fatter case than usual. And they slap a grade on it, right? 9.4 that's near mid. That's pretty darn good. That's a nice grade. You can't see because of the light, but whatever. And sometimes they'll put some information, it just key information, this says first appearance of April O'Neil. You can't really see it because of the glare, but trust me. So CGC is, I think, the most popular one and the best one, probably. They're also the most expensive, usually. But they got the title up there. We got the grade. We have some notes, who the artist and writer are. We've got key elements of the thing. And they look really nice. There's a couple other. PGX is a big one. CBCS is garbage, but you can use them if you really want to.
I think they updated, they fixed their cases.
Yeah, I think they recently changed their cases, so maybe they're no longer garbage. I'm not sure, but I really used to hate the old CBCS cases. But anyway, this is cool. You could sort of get them either grade a book for them, but you have to be sneaky. That's risky, though, taking someone's book. Maybe that's not such a... Forget that idea.
Especially knowing that CGC sometimes takes weeks to months.
Maybe don't do that idea, but you can, get them, again, a sort of a gift certificate kind of thing for a grading system. Or get them a graded book. If you still that they have to love a cover, they love a specific book or a character, you can buy that for them, but buy it for them in graded form. That's kind of fun. And then, did I do everything here except for the last one? Checking the list. Think so. And of course, the last thing you might want to get a comic book fan are comic books. You might recognize them as those thin things with pictures and words. This is Star Wars. So yeah, when in doubt, get them some comics. But the key is you want to find out what they like. And it can be tricky because they're like, oh, I really like Star Wars. But if you buy them like the newest Star Wars, they probably have it. So you're going to want to try to pry a little bit like, okay, which ones don't you have? Which ones might you want?
A gift buyer for a comic fan, I would like to make the note that the best thing to do is, one, ask for a list of the comics they want. And also ask about their particular, like, nuances and preferences. Like, this one is very particular. It has to have a certain grade. Certain keys can go below that grade, but otherwise he generally wants a certain grade.
Maybe everyone's not as picky as me, but...
Well, no, but like everybody has their things. Like, I don't care if my comics, if like they have a back. He does.
Back's important to me.
I mean, I do care if it's like last week's comic, but like, you know, if it's a key issue, I don't care as long as it's mostly intact. He doesn't like coupons cut out. He doesn't, even if it doesn't affect the story. So find out from your person how they're, because you don't want to go, oh, I got a great deal on this Spider-Man 3.
Right, but the MVS is cut out of it. Oh, that doesn't have
right,
it
have a page missing. Still, right. It's slabbed, so you can't really read it anyway. But they really don't want anything with a missing page, so it's not a good deal anymore.
Find out what they want, what they like, and what they'll deal with, right? Some people, again, usually the more rare the book, the more likely people are to accept it in a crappier thing. But I know some people, like, I only take 9.8s. Well, those people are going to be expensive to buy for. Maybe get them a gift certificate. All right, so there's my list of, I think it might have been 10. Who knows? I wasn't really counting. List of things to buy a comic book person. If you can think of things that weren't listed that are better, you're like, you forgot about potatoes. Then you're right, I did. But anyway, go ahead and let us know something I forgot. And that's this. So, you know, holidays, books, potatoes, everything everyone needs. Boop.